Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Jason High. I'm the academic videographer here in the Division of Extended Learning. I work closely with our instructional design team of Teresa, Carrie, and Doug. Maybe some of them have worked with you on your courses. I am the video support for them and for our team here in Extended Learning. And what I do is I provide services for you, primarily the course introductions and instructor bios. I've worked with Jessica Harris here in the room today. We've had a great experience together. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and some pointers on if you make some videos yourself on how to improve the quality of your videos. And we'll jump into my slide deck and we'll talk about some of the things we're going to talk about today. There we are. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Okay, so some of the topics we're going to cover today, guys, is lighting, whether it's natural or artificial, whether it's your room lights or whether it's sunlight. The height of your camera or computer that you may use at home. The quality of audio you can use. I'm just using the our computer audio today, but I'll give you some alternatives that you can use to increase the audio of your presentation or your video. Some of the computer settings and adjustments that you may have to make if possible, and some of the things that you're going to wear in terms of like wardrobe, shirts, blouses, colors, things of that nature. So to get into lighting, what you're going to do is try not to have the windows behind you, because as you can see, this person is almost a silhouette. They're very dark. I have as many room lights on as I can, and I also have my desk lamp right next to me, and I'll show you the difference that's going to make. So when I turn this on, so you can see it kind of just fills in a little bit. It gives me a little bit more of a key light, which is a focal point light on yourself. So if you have the option of having one of these lights, whether if you're on the road or at your desk, at home, please try and use that. I think I'll keep that on. I think I like that. But if you can, turn yourself around 180 degrees and use that light to your advantage in this gentleman's instance, because it's a very warm, colorful light. As you can see, this gentleman here, he did a 180 degree turn. He's using this window or something to his right, to his advantage, and there's a natural warm tone to the look of this gentleman here. There's the red background we'll talk about in an instance here in a little bit. So as you can see, this gentleman is using the light from his computer as his key light. He doesn't have any other light coming from lamps or above him or anything. And the reason being that he's blue is the color temperature being reflected off his monitor is 5,600 degrees Kelvin. And that ironically is the same color temperature as sunlight. So what it's doing is it's clashing with what limited light he has in his room that is 3,200 Kelvin, which is what this is. So these two color temperatures are clashing together, and it's kind of giving off a blue tone to this gentleman. When I think of that gentleman, I think of Violet Beauregard from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You don't want to look like her. Of course, she ate a bunch of blueberries and that just didn't turn out well, but you don't want to look like her in any of your video content. Ring lights, especially during COVID, they became a lot more popular. People needed to start to create their own content. People wanted to start YouTube channels, wanted to get their message out. So ring lights became increasingly popular and are still being popular to this day, post-pandemic. There's a lot of different styles, a lot of options, a lot of accessories with some of these kits. As you can see, this woman is using her cell phone for her camera, which is totally fine. There's a nice little mount in the middle of the ring light. Prices vary between styles and accessories, anywhere from $20 on the cheaper, the lower end, to $150 on the higher end. We have an account with B&H here in Extended Learning, as a lot of people do throughout the campus, marketing included. We get a lot of our camera equipment and other accessories that I need for my job at B&H. But if you don't have a B&H account, you know, Amazon or anything that you trust online for the best price is totally fine. Like I said, ring lights are becoming in high demand. They held over 39% of the market in 2021. The demand for ring lights topped 6.9 billion worldwide in 2021. Sales grew in India by almost 50%. In Japan led the Eastern Asia market with a share of 54.5%. Germany holds over 22% of the European market, so they're quite popular in Europe and in Germany as well. Lighting tip number 2, I think I've touched on this already. Use your room lights to your advantage. If you have a stand light, like I said, if you have a light like this right next to you, I have it down next to me to my right, but for this presentation, I was actually covering my second monitor. I would never do that in a working environment, but if I was recording a video and I'm not using my second monitor, I would bring this up right next to me, and it's kind of filling in all my, getting rid of my wrinkles and things like that, and it's just filling in and giving me a nice even look. So another thing that this gentleman is doing, this picture that I'll touch on in a second. The height of your camera is very important. You do not want to be looking down on people in your videos. It just kind of gives a really bad impression. You know, we like to be cordial with one another. We have to speak on an even level. You don't want to be talking down to your students in person, physically, or online as well. Try not to do up the nose shot. It can be kind of also disgusting sometimes, or it might turn people off, just looking up at people's nose and looking at your chin or your neck. You want to try to have your camera on an eye-to-eye level, and try and I'll touch on this in a second. Trying to have your eye level at maybe 3/4 or 2/3 of the frame, which is where mine is right now. So getting back to this photo, this gentleman is doing whatever he can to eliminate the up the nose look or up the nose shot. He is using his computer briefcase, and he grabbed a couple towels from the bathroom or whatever, and he raised the height of his camera on his laptop, excuse me, to bring it more of an eye-to-eye level for his video. Excuse me 1 second. So be aware of framing, be mindful of the framing of your shot. Like I said, you want your eye level at 2/3 or 3/4, which is a little bit of headroom, which is what I have now. This picture on the left, there is way too much headroom. No one wants to see that boring white door behind her. You want to present yourself in a manner where there's a little bit of headroom. You're not completely in the person's face as you're recording your video, like on the right. But you want just a medium shot and just give yourself a little bit of headroom. Like I said, this woman in the middle, her eye level is at 2/3, 3/4, perfect. If you have the opportunity, or if you're more comfortable with it, wear a headset. I have a headset here next to me that I use quite often. It'll increase the quality of your audio. It'll eliminate any room noise or construction noise. Here in Sheldon, there's constant construction going on our building. It's quite hard to even walk in our building right now because they're so busy working on the facade and the structures near the top of our building. So if I'm recording videos over the summer, I will wear that headset, or I will have a microphone that I will clip to my collar. It's called a lavalier mic. You know, reporters, anchors, they all use that on the set in the news industry. It's something that we have in extended learning that I use with faculty in the videos that I produce with them. It's good quality and eliminates all the hums and the noises and the air conditioning and the heating systems, things of that nature. If you were in the market for a microphone for yourself, here's a few options. This is the CAD audio USB microphone. It comes with a nice little mic stand, a USB import. Like I said, it isolates your main audio source, which is yourself, that you will need for your videos. Minimizes background noise. It eliminates the P popping sound, which can be an issue with some microphones. There is some mixed reviews on this, but it's on the cheaper end, so you kind of get what you pay for. This one's $24.99 on Amazon. But if you're looking for something just to grab and go and plug in, and you're looking for something a little less pricey, this is a pretty good option. The Samson's kind of cool because I like this one. It's more of a directional microphone. I'm speaking to my camera right here. This is kind of would be right next to where my webcam would be. I'm talking directly into the microphone, whereas the previous one might be off to your side, kind of shooting crossway. This is compact and portable. It comes in this nice little case. It's got its USB input as well. It's great for recording music or podcasts, which are becoming more popular right now. John has an excellent podcast for teaching. He doesn't use anything like this, but he does have John's quality of his audios are very good on his podcast. This one's a little bit higher rated, 4 stars. And the quality of the recordings are good. This one's a little bit more expensive on Amazon. This is what we use in extended learning. A lot of our deans, our academic planning coordinators, they use this for their Zoom sessions. It's a blue snowball microphone. Excuse me. Also comes with a USB. It comes with a nice little tripod. You can put that right in front of you. Great reviews on this. Like I said, we have a few of these in our office. They come highly recommended, and again, it's relatively inexpensive, $43. Not too bad. So when you're about to produce your own videos, be mindful of what you're going to wear. If you want to present yourself in a very professional manner, this woman looks like she just kind of walked out of the morning shower or bedroom, and she put on a robe and just started producing her own content. I would recommend you wear solid colors, blues, greens, depending on what you're wearing with the background. If you have a colored wall, you don't want to wear something that will kind of make you blend into that wall. I have a blue room at home. I would never wear this blue shirt. I might wear a red or a brown or something like that. But be professional and don't wear stripes that kind of might clash. The camera might not like that very much. Anything lacy or sheer, just solid colors. You'll notice a lot of the anchor people, especially the weather people, if they're on a green screen, they wear yellows, reds, blues, something that's just solid and it pops. This gentleman's wearing a white shirt, solid white shirt, and he's using his light next to him. And what it's doing is it's reflecting off that white shirt and kind of filling in some of the gaps that the light may be missing. It's kind of bouncing off his chest and up into his face. Kind of enhances the exposure a little bit. So if you don't want to have a solid shirt, white might be a good alternative, a solid white shirt or blouse. If you're using scripts at home, practice 2-3 times before you hit that little red record button. It's nice if you have working from home. If you're dissatisfied, just do it again. Delete the clip, start over until you're comfortable with how it turned out. If you stumble, it avoids editing. If you're not a very good experienced editor or don't have the software, just practice a few extra times and you might be able to get through it in one take. If you're working with me on campus, we have the ability of using a teleprompter, which is a great tool. It's becoming very, very popular. And that will eliminate, for me as an editor, run-on thoughts. It'll eliminate it'll eliminate ahs. It'll actually eliminate time it takes me to produce your content and get it back to you. I have a list of questions for instructor bios and for course introductions. And faculty develop a script, their answers based on the questions I'll send them in advance. So when they send me back their script, I'll delete my questions and their answers will get kind of smashed together and they kind of flow well together. I'll upload them to a tablet. I'll mount our teleprompter onto my camera and the app on that tablet will roll and you'll become a news anchor. But what we do is before I hit the record button in our session together, we will practice because a lot of people obviously don't have experience in using a teleprompter. So what we'll do is I'll let them get used to their speed. I might adjust the speed a little bit on the content that's scrolling through. Some people read a little bit faster. Some people read a little bit slower. Even though it's their words that they wrote, it might just take a little time for them to adjust. So on try number 2 or try number 3, we will start recording. And then the first couple times it gives me a chance to adjust my exposure, adjust my lights that I'll have throughout the room or location on campus that will be set up in it. If you are editing your own material at home, couple recommendations for editing is iMovie. You can edit your content on your phone. There's usually editing software that is a part of your phone now. Movie Maker, available at the link there. Panopto is fairly easy. It's just kind of like cut and it'll slide the rest of your material together. Or I use Adobe Premiere Pro. The marketing team here on campus uses that as well. And try to avoid something called jump cuts. So if you were using, Panopto, and there's a section that you cut out and it smashed, just moved it all together. Obviously, there's an edit point there. So try to put like a wipe or just a very basic transition or a dissolve or something. It just kind of gives it a little more smoother look to that spot, and it's not as jarring where it will look like the edit point is here and then all of a sudden it's here, because of that edit point. So if it dissolves, it'll like slowly transition to the moving head to the next clip. It's tough to explain, but if I had a clip that I produced myself, I could show you that. But I think if there's any other questions, we can talk about that at the end of the presentation. We also have a new additional tool that I like to work with faculty on here on campus, and it's called our Lightboard. It resides in the in Lanigan Hall. We purchased it with an IITG grant in 2019, and it's available for any instructor to use. Like I said, it resides in Lanigan Hall, and this is more used for if you're there's a visual element of a lesson that your students might not be grabbing, or you want to present it to them in a different way. Sciences department, math department, business, any department really on campus. Please contact me and we can work on this together. It's a great tool that we have available for faculty in Lanigan. As you can see, it allows teaching and learning to become more visual and effective. Allows instructors to create more human online videos that are closer to face-to-face classroom experiences. So usually I like to do shorter versions with faculty, 3-minute, 4-minute instructor bios about yourself, 3 or 4-minute course introductions. This style of video that we would produce with the Lightboard would be a little bit longer format. I've worked with Sarah Bonzo in the School of Business. She had a lesson prepared that maybe went 13, 14 minutes, but it turned out really well. And I have a clip of that video coming up. And here it is. So this is Sarah describing the critical path method. Like I said, this went 14 minutes. We're not going to show the whole thing. I think I just took out a 1.5-minute chunks. So there's LED lights around the outer edge, and will illuminate the markers. And so as I'm recording this with Sarah, everything that she's writing looks like this to her. But to me, the viewer, it's reversed. It's like if you're looking at an ambulance behind you in traffic, everything is backwards, but when you look in your rearview mirror, the words are correct. So what I do in post-production is use an effect called horizontal flip, and it'll flip the image. So for students, when they watch this video, everything will be readable to them. I'm gonna go ahead and play this little clip.
And here, we always want to, when we do the forward pass, we're going to be filling out the top 2 quadrants here in each node, and we're going to use a max rule to help us fill out these top 2 quadrants. This is going to be the earliest time, or the earliest start time of this activity, and this is going to be the earliest possible time we can finish this activity. So let's walk through this. This will make more sense once we actually walk through it. So here, activity A, this is going to start at time 0. So start the time 0, and then we know it's going to take about 4 months to complete this activity. So we just do 0 plus 4, and we put a 4 in here. The earliest time we can start activity A is at time 0. The earliest possible time we can finish it is going to be at 4 months. So now we know again that B and C cannot start until A is complete. So we're going to bring that 4 months right over here, because we know that B can't start until A is complete. So the earliest possible time we could start activity B is going to be 4 months. We add the duration for this activity, which is 3 months, and that's going to give us a 7 here, which is the earliest possible time we can finish activity B. And we're going to pull this 4 over here to activity C as well, plus 6. The earliest time we can finish activity C is going to be at 10 months.
So that is our Lightboard in action. As you can see, one thing I should have told her is maybe not wear a dark shirt like that. It's shot on a green screen to eliminate the green curtain behind her. What I'll do is I'll just key in like a black in post-production. So that's not a black curtain, it's like just a black image that I put behind her. So a nice yellow would be great, or a red would be a great choice if you ever want to use the Lightboard with me. Are there any questions that you guys may have for me? I also have a quick Google form. If you're interested in working with me, that's the QR code. Just a simple 5-minute form you just need to fill out with some details of the project that you may be interested in working with me. Just kind of lets me know, and we can maybe set something up. Again, it would probably be a whiteboard material, a course introduction with me, a course that you're teaching, or maybe you have material that may be outdated, or you just don't like the look. We can certainly sit down and discuss and possibly work together. This QR code is just for the slide presentation of all the slides that we just saw. So you can take a picture of that now, or I can definitely share it with you after I'm done. But just reach out to me on email. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thanks, Jay. I just scanned the QR code in my phone, but it brings up a Google slide that I need access to. I don't know if anyone's tried it and successfully got to it. Maybe it's just me.
That just happened to me as well. Correct.
It was the Google slide.
Yeah, my screen says Google Slides, and then I need access. I don't have access, so.
All right, Lisa, I'll
Yeah.
look into that. And Deborah, you as well?
So is me too, Renee.
Okay. All right. I will look into that, but what I will do is share you guys just in an email or something, just the direct link to the Google form, and we'll just kind of work around that temporarily for now until I have a chance to look into it. If that's okay with you.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, I will stop sharing. And I appreciate everybody's time, and it was a pleasure to go over some of this information with you. I hope you all have a great day, and if you're interested in working with me down the road, I'd love to work with you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
All right, bye everybody. Take care.